Hej, tutaj krzywa, to jest Broken Sword 5 i zapraszam na kolejny odcinek poświęcony tej serii. Jak ustaliliśmy wcześniej, musimy pewnie odwrócić uwagę komisarza, żeby George mógł dostać się do gabinetu z tyłu.
Inspector Nave, do you have a moment?
Chyba nas... A, jednak? Nie ma nas gdzieś pan inspektor.
My time is of the essence. Be quick now.
Dobrze. Pomówmy o
I
nawecie.
suppose this is quite a complex case, Inspector.
It is a robbery gone bad. Nothing more, nothing less.
Surely there's a bit more to it than that.
Please abstain from baseless conjecture, madame. The victim's body paints a simple picture, more reliable than any witness statement. Consider the impact of the bullet and note the concomitant lack of blood. A casual homicide, nothing more.
Dobrze, pomówmy o skrawionym obrazie.
Don't you find it odd that the thief chose that one particular painting?
O, daliśmy mu chyba do myślenia. To nas zaskoczy jakąś myślą.
Life is full of odd things, madame.
No
Fingernail
właśnie.
gloves, white dog poo-poo, nasal hair. I prefer to concern myself with murder.
O sabotażu
The
pomówmy.
alarm was sabotaged.
I have interrogated the crime scene, madame. I am fully aware of the disabled security. I prefer biological evidence to the merely circumstantial. Body parts, blood, important things.
Don't you think the disabled alarm is highly suspicious, though?
The forensic team will be along shortly. Voice your concerns to them.
No okej.
Do not bother me with this circumstantial...
Zdjęcie może mu pokażemy? A nie,
Why
jeszcze
don't you check
kamerze
out the
przemysłowej.
security camera footage?
Madame, that is not my area of expertise. It is the body which concerns me.
But
Oh.
the CCTV footage is evidence. It could help identify the killer.
Correction, madame.
Jakbym zbadał skąd jest ta pizza.
The only
Może tam
true
kupował to bez
evidence
kasku.
is bodily fluid. Unless you know something I don't, then please leave me be.
The only evidence Inspector Nave seemed to appreciate involved gore.
Dobrze, o George'u
What do
pomówmy.
you think about the American, George?
Aha,
He is deeply suspicious.
dobrze.
Could you give me a statement, Inspector?
Now is not the time, madame.
Mhm.
Thanks, Inspector. I'll let you know if I remember anything else.
Dobrze.
If I was going to distract Nave, I needed to unearth new evidence.
Jakbym znowu wykorzystał grubaska do dorzucenia uwagi, jak to było w
And
drugiej
the
części
bloodier, the better.
Lane'a. Więc porozmawiajmy z Lane'ą.
Are you Hector Lane, the art critic?
Enchanté, madame. And which of the angels are you?
I'm Nico Collar, a reporter.
Ah, a fallen angel then. My favorite sort.
Dobrze, pomówmy o obrazie.
What can you tell me about the painting that was taken?
It was called La Malediccio, an unknown work that only recently surfaced.
Who was the artist?
A mysterious figure known only as El Serp. Some say he was a student of Picasso.
A Hiszpania
He
by się
was
zgadzało
good,
po
but
części, nie?
not great. And his true identity remains unknown.
Ale na obrazie nie było stylu
What can you
Picassa
tell me
jednak.
about the theft?
Oh, it was truly awful. What do you want to know?
Żerziu.
Have you spoken to Georges?
The American?
Yes.
He promised to clear up any misunderstandings the police might have about my presence here.
Dobrze, o
What
Henrym.
can you tell me about Henri's
Henri,
involvement with the
przepraszam.
gallery?
Ach, ten francuski.
Dear
Nie jestem taki
Henri,
dobry jak moja narzeczona z francuskiego.
shining diamond in the
sensie
ordure
języku,
that is
o to
the
mi
modern
chodzi.
art business.
Bez skojarzeń.
He owned the gallery. What will we do?
Już
about
mówi
it?
po francusku. A
Tell me
strzelanie.
about the shooting, monsieur.
Well, it all happened so fast.
Take your time. What did you see?
I can't be sure. Perhaps I could answer your questions over dinner.
Aha, już nas
I'm
podrywa.
sorry, monsieur. I'm on a tight deadline. Did you see the thief?
I would have tackled him, but he was too quick for me.
Zemdlał.
Did you know that the alarm had been sabotaged?
Tak, już wie.
No. How dreadful. I suppose that's why the alarm isn't ringing.
Here's my press card.
O, masz jakiś wywiadzik? Czyli on został tylko ksiądz do
And
badania,
there was I thinking you
przegadania.
were too young and beautiful to be a reporter.
Co można zrobić z tym
Thanks
popiersiem?
for your help, Monsieur
Tak
Lane.
się zastanawiam, gdyż nie bez
I
powodu
wasn't
by
going to
było.
get anything useful from Lane.
Dobrze, możemy, jest swat, może porozmawiać z księdzem.
Excuse me, Father.
Father Simeon, my child.
Are you okay, Father?
It's a terrible shock, but yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Could I ask you some questions about the crime?
What kind of questions?
I'm a reporter for La Liberté.
I suppose it cannot hurt. Please ask away.
O,
Why
ojcu
did
tu
you come to the
rozmawiają.
gallery today, Father?
God brought me. I knew there was great evil in La Maledictio. It was my duty to confront it. The painter was El Serp, the Serpent, don't you see?
Evil? So, what were you planning
A
on
chciałbym, żeby to miał
doing
związek z
today?
templariuszami. O, bardzo,
Wanted
bo
to
uwielbiam
bear
te wątki.
witness to anything
Z pierwszej
that
i
the
trzeciej
devil
części.
conjure.
Well, I think it
A szczerze, w
was-
sumie George należy już do templariuszy.
Really? A man
Gdy
is
byli
dead,
świętowani w
Miss
trzeciej
Collard.
części, przyjęli go do siebie.
I'd say his work here today is done.
That wasn't going to help my story.
Dobrze, a pomówmy o strzelaninie.
Anything that might help identify the killer.
The devil takes many forms, child. I didn't get a good enough look, I'm afraid.
Anything would help.
I'm sorry, my dear. My mind was elsewhere.
Dobrze, a słowo mi o Anhui, naszym zmarłym. Każdego trzeba wszystko wypytywać, ale się dowiadujemy ciekawych rzeczy.
So far as any of us are innocent. If he was peddling such blasphemous works as the El Serp painting, then who knows what other sins he was hiding.
Father Simeon was making me feel guilty. Priests always did that to me.
Dobrze. Pomówmy znowu o La Maledictio.
What can you tell me about the painting?
Grotesque and evil.
How can a painting be evil?
By killing all who come into contact with
Ten ksiądz wie coś więcej niż wszyscy w tej galerii obecnie o tym obrazie.
Laugh not at
Tak
the
mi się
devil's
wydaje.
day, Miss Collard.
Do you know anything about the painter El Serp?
He was a purveyor of blasphemy, a servant of the Antichrist.
How can you know that?
It is clear from his work.
Father Simeon was making a lot of assumptions.
Też legitymację pokażemy?
This is my press card. As I said, I work for La Liberté.
Good. Be sure to warn your readers that this painting is evil.
Thank you for your
Dobrze,
help, Father.
nie ma się co śmiać, naprawdę. Dobrze. Idźmy do George'a, może coś nam doszło nowego.
Priest had nothing.
Może takiego alarmu i odwrócimy uwagę.
Yeah, Nico.
So why do you need to get into the office again?
I'm pretty sure the robbery was an inside job, and I think the proof is in the office.
So what's stopping you?
Super cop over there.
Dobra.
What if I create a distraction?
You do that, and I will let you have whatever I find.
Okej.
That's a deal, George. Somehow I had to get the inspector away from the office door.
Może jakiś alarm? Zobaczymy.
I'd never met
Nie,
the...
ciała nie możemy zobaczyć. O, pizza box podniesiemy. Widzę, że możemy, Niko. Nie zauważył. O, tomato. Jako krew. Dobre, można
The
podpiąć.
tomato sauce had splattered on the floor.
O, jakaś guma do rzucia.
No way was I going to clean that up with my bare hands.
Mamy coś, czym by to wziąć?
I scraped up...
Tak, udało się. Na tym. I pomyślmy. Wybaczcie, miałem telefon. Dobrze, wzięliśmy O, tak.
How about that for a distraction?
Jako krew. Będzie pisać, zajmie się i może George uda się mu wejść. Sprytne.
Inspector,
Yes?
have you seen the stain on the floor over there? It looks like blood.
O,
Indeed.
indeed. Nic.
Very curious. I must investigate immediately, before one of these idiots steps in.
Hehe. Dobra. Badaj, badaj. George, wchodź.
Interesting. Maybe it is time to employ the machine.
Okay, George, that should distract him for a while.
Nice work, Nico. I'll let you know what I find in the office.
Nie słyszę tego hałasu. Dobra. O, jaka ładna gitara.
I was sure
O, lampa lat 70. widzę. Na środku.
needed to be quick because it wouldn't take him long.
Dobrze, popatrzmy na fifkę.
It was a hookah pipe. Those things gave me a headache. I didn't imagine all
Co my tu jeszcze mamy? Obraz lata 70. Nie
Henri
no,
sure liked this clutter.
faktycznie nasz artysta lubił.
Advertised in 1975.
Trzymał się o latach 70.
Headlined by a group called the Hairy Lobsters.
Dobrze, na biurko się przypatrzmy.
The telephone was an antique rotary model.
Szuflady, dobra. Mamy trochę tu do szukania, widzę. O właśnie, tablica ogłoszeń. W sensie ta korkowa.
Henri's notice board was covered with all kinds of junk.
Biurko. A co my tu mamy?
I didn't like the idea of a pocket full of sharp pins.
Jakieś wizytówki.
I didn't need a business card.
Dobrze, kolejne.
The pen could have been useful. Then again, it might have leaked all over my pocket.
Aż się troszczy nasze kieszenie. Zapalniczkę weźmy.
The lighter was corroded and grimy. It'd probably never work again. I decided to leave it.
Dobrze, tusz.
Carrying an ink pot around inside my pocket would have been stupid.
Okej.
The ink would have stained my hands for days. I
Gumkę?
didn't feel the need to take Henri's eraser.
Nie, też nie.
The switch controlled the small desk lamp.
Dobrze.
I didn't want to carry the tape around. I
Nic nie chcę
didn't
wziąć. Boże, jak już się zrobił wybredny. A w pierwszej części jakoś łomy i otwieracze do studzienki unosić.
It was the paper that Nico wrote for. Nico lived for the day her story would be on the front cover.
Dobrze, otwórzmy szufladę. O, coś mamy.
There was nothing else in the drawer.
Otwórzmy.
The folder looked interesting. This was very definitely tampering with evidence.
Czyli to mamy chyba firmę ochroniarską, tak? W sensie alarmy, kamery.
It was a completion of work notice from a company called VERA.
O właśnie.
They weren't the guys we'd recommended. Henri had gone behind our backs to choose a different security outfit. Huh. I'd never heard of VERA Security, but there was an address and phone number on the form.
Okej, mamy adres. Wszystko z biurka?
I had no reason to search the desk again.
Dobra, może... No to jeszcze mamy.
Henri had a model.
Wszystko trzeba wyklikać, bo to różnie może być.
The engine capacity was displayed on the back, 1600 cc. Henri sure had his.
Ale głośność czasami jest zmieniana. Nie wiem, czy to zauważacie, że jest cicho, cicho i nagle głośno. Przyjrzyjmy się naszemu Dawidowi.
The statue was jaunty.
I tyle?
Up close and personal, I could see that the fig leaf was hinged.
Dobra. Painting, 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 sofa.
The sofa had clearly taken some punishment over the years.
Ale fajny gabinecik, mi się podoba.
It looked like Henri had saved the best booze for the back room.
Tu wszystko. O, kamerę. Z patrzywką.
The CCTV system was ancient.
No właśnie.
It took individual shots and recorded them to tape. It looked like I needed to enter a passcode to view.
Może będzie w dokumentach, które przeglądaliśmy. Dobra. Przyjrzyjmy się temu.
The completion note from VERA security. There was an address.
Dobra, ale coś jeszcze?
That wouldn't have worked. The completion note
Nie.
from VERA. There was.
Mi się wydaje, że
I needed to find a 4-digit number.
4 cyfry. A może będzie 1975, jak jest na ścianie napisane. Spróbujmy. Skoro był na festiwalu w tym roku. Znaczy tak by bez powodu nie wisiało, nie? Jeżeli mamy być 4 cyfry.
Mike made it to his big day.
Spróbujmy. Coś mówi przy kalendarzu, się zagadałem. Zobaczymy zaraz. 1, 9, 7, 5. Nie.
And there
Nie udało się.
I need.
W tym kalendarzu jaka data jest?
Henri had ringed 27th May and scrawled birthday.
27.05. Sprawdźmy.
Bingo. I
Ach, te urodzinki.
before the robbery.
Przewinmy.
This was the first interesting frame.
Czy on sam ściągnął?
Was Henri studying La Malédiction. He couldn't have had any idea what was about to happen.
No to next frame.
Nico and I were taking a look at La Malédiction just before the robbery. A good view of La Malédiction. I could kind of see why Father Simeon thought it was evil. There was a certain presence about it.
Dobrze, idźmy dalej.
The killer caught in the act. There was nothing really distinctive about him. The moment it all went horribly wrong.
Okej.
Why hadn't Henri backed down when the thief pulled the gun? If that was me, I'd have done whatever the guy wanted.
Dobrze.
The image was a little fuzzy, but in the center of the painting was what looked like a snake eating its own tail. I thought about what the priest said.
Dobrze.
There was
Zobaczymy,
definitely
czy można się przyjrzeć jeszcze złodziejowi.
There was some writing on the front of his helmet, but I couldn't quite make it out. The writing was just a blur.
Dobra. Coś musimy mieć z jego kaskiem bliżej.
The
O,
killer
mamy.
made his getaway. A logo on the front of his helmet read Waterloo Motors.
Okej.
That could be useful. The painting was gone. The alarm should have
Jeszcze
sounded,
może cofnijmy do obrazu. Nie.
but it had been sabotaged. I wondered who could have done that. Maybe Lane or even Henri himself. There I was,
Okay.
taking a look at the alarm box. Hopefully I didn't look too suspicious.
Dobra.
I hadn't thought about that when I was looking
ale
at the
ładne.
camera.
Patrzyliśmy się w końcu na kamerę.
That was the last shot.
Okej.
I'd probably learned everything I could from the CCTV.
Dobra, dowiedzieliśmy się wszystkiego.
That was the
Okej, idźmy stąd. Pewnie wszystko już mamy z tego pokoiku.
It was a pretty flamboyant looking clock.
Spróbujmy
The phone was vintage.
Nie, dobra. Te śmieci? O, coś tu było.
Stared from a partially covered poster.
Coś...
In the trash can I found a crumpled letter from Henri's credit card company demanding
Aha, czyli no ubezpieczenie może chciał
listed extravagant
zarobić,
purchases
skoro miał
from a
długi.
variety of ladies' fashions.
Czyli jakąś kobitkę.
Dress indicated that Henri lived in the chic and expensive 16th arrondissement of Paris. I decided to put the letter back. Henri's financial problems weren't my business. But now I knew where he lived.
Okej. Chyba wszystko. Aha, no, właśnie. Aha, wściekły inspektor.
Monsieur, sir, you have snuck in here, and now you are tampering with my evidence.
Pomyślmy. Prawda czy kłamstwo? Prawda.
I wasn't tampering with anything. I was just looking for clues.
That is my job, Monsieur.
Stobart.
Monsieur.
Stobart.
George Stobart.
Stobart. Paris Mutual. We insured the exhibition.
Oh, really? So, you have
Aha,
plenty to gain
chyba nas nie
from the
polubił.
robbery.
Well, no. We have plenty to lose from the robbery.
Don't patronize me, monsieur. Only a fool wouldn't know how insurance works.
Aha.
Yeah. No flies on you, Inspector.
Chyba nie ogarnia, jak działają
I
ubezpieczenia.
have to get up very
Właśnie firma George'a by
early,
straciła przecież na kradzieży, gdyż musiałaby wypłacić. Chyba, że wykaże, że to była inside job, tak jak praca od środka.
May I remind you, monsieur, that a serious crime has been committed. I am going to have to ask you to return to the gallery.
Dobrze,
Of
chodźmy.
course. But
Co
I
tam po tym?
do need to ask you a few questions.
O,
D'accord. But remember, anything you say can be used against you, monsieur.
dobrze,
Stobart.
rozumiemy.
Okay, I'll bear that in mind. Do you know anything about a company called VERA Security?
No, I have never heard of them. Now, I must get on with my investigation.
Uf, kamera.
It's very likely that the security camera holds a clue to the killer's identity.
Monsieur, I am a professional, and you?
Tam, my amatorzy. By się zdziwił, co dokonaliśmy.
Simply investigating to me,
Czyż
huh?
nie?
Pal? Monsieur, you are American.
Tak.
Yeah, California born and bred.
Of course. I think perhaps you are wanting to be like that Starsky and Butch.
O, tak.
Rolling around on top of fast cars with beautiful ladies.
No.
Firing your gun.
Interesting idea, Inspector.
Ale z okna wie, ten Ksawery huragan się rozszalał.
Indeed.
Nie wiem, czy to słyszycie.
Well, let me tell you something, monsieur. You are
Normalnie nie
my
mogłem
suspect.
zamknąć
You may go now.
drzwi, jak na chwilę uchyliłem od balkonu. Tak wiało akurat. No dobrze, idziemy. Tak zagadałem was, przepraszam. Dobrze, chyba nie teraz z Niko
I have some
pomówimy.
valuable leads. But before following up on them, I had important business to attend to. Hey, Nico. You want to grab a quick cup of coffee?
Sure.
A i co nam inspektor powie?
I am pleased to announce that I have finished my preliminary investigation. This is now an official crime scene, and you must all go.
To
I
idziemy.
shall be questioning all of you again in the coming days. Nobody is to leave the country, particularly you, Monsieur Stobart. Monsieur Len will stay behind to help secure the premises. Move!
Lubię mu.
Yes, Inspector.
Let them out!
Right away, sir.
I nasz kochany
Two
kelner.
coffees, please.
Nice work in there, Nico. Whatever you did, it worked.
I just made a tiny distraction, and Nave bought it.
I think Nave would buy anything if it had blood on it.
Szybko te kawy przynoszą. Szkoda, że w Polsce tak nie robią. No ale w sumie za 7,77 euro. Z taką kwotę. Prawie 40 zł
You know,
chyba.
this whole setup, the theft, the murder, it just doesn't make sense.
What do you mean?
O złodzieju pomówmy.
Like I said, I think it was an inside job.
Go on.
Someone disabled the alarm, but on just one painting.
Let me guess. La maledicción.
Exactly. And I aim to find out who did it. The CCTV picked up an image of the thief. His helmet had the words water.
To mogła być firma albo sklep, nie wiem. Ale jakiś ślad jest,
I think
prawda?
I've got a couple of good shots of him too, but I need to take a better look at them at home.
Great. Let me know what you find.
O ojcu
Well, the priest thinks
porozmawiajmy.
La Maledicción is evil.
Charles, she's just crazy.
Yeah, you're probably right. But there's something strange going on. I found the address of the security company Henri employed. It was not the one that I recommended.
Good luck with your investigations.
No, ale nie pomoże.
Well, I guess I should go. This story won't write itself. And Josh?
Yeah?
It's good to see you again.
Great to see you too, Nico.
W końcu. Ciekawe jaka była przerwa ostatnio. Między czwartą częścią.
The sun shining, a crime to solve, and Nico back in my life.
Ile lat przerwy ciekawe było między czwartą częścią? Henry's apartment. My jesteśmy gdzie? Tutaj jesteśmy. Idziemy do firmy? Czy... O, w ogóle mapka wróciła. Ona była tylko w pierwszej części. W drugiej mi brakowało, trzeciej i czwartej. Fajna zawsze była ta mapka. Potem była zagranica, pamiętam, loty do Syrii. Dobrze, może zobaczymy najpierw mieszkanie, zanim tam policja dojedzie.
As I approached Henri's apartment, I started to doubt whether coming here so soon after his death was such a great idea.
Kawiarnia.
Paris sure had a lot of similar-looking cafes.
Butik.
Parisian
Może pewnie tutaj jest wejście do niego.
reminds me why I love this city.
Ale pewnie na kod czy coś, kurde. O, to tu kupował rzeczy w takim razie. Henry w tym butiku.
Unsurprisingly, the front door was locked.
Może będzie takie same hasło jak w kamerze.
Yes. Who is it?
Excuse me, madame. This is George Stobart. Could I talk to you?
George who? What?
George Stobart, madame. I'm from the insurance company.
For God's sake, do they have all days? I don't want to buy insurance.
Nie.
No, I'm not selling, madame. It's about the gallery theft.
Oh, I see. You people move fast, don't you?
Dobrze, czy ją zostawił po sobie wdowę.
I am so distraught.
Madame,
Cholercie.
Right.
Spróbuję może wejść kodem, może będzie taki sam jak urodziny, 2505, są 27.
Tony's Brasserie. Looked expensive.
Co tam jeszcze mamy? Co mamy w ekwipunku? Że się uda George'owi.
I decided that using the buzzer would make more sense than attempting to dismantle the door.
O. Spróbujmy jeszcze raz w takim razie.
I decided not to call her again quite so soon.
Może zadzwonimy?
My phone had no service. I couldn't make calls.
Dobrze. Czyli chyba na razie nic z tym nie zrobimy. Jedziemy do firmy.
At the end of the road, I could see the magnificent...
Idziemy do firmy. Tu nic nie skuramy.
The address led me to a dead end at the end of a dead beast.
Tu jest na lewo, pawilon ochrony.
No wonder I'd never heard of VERA security.
Zamknięci czy co? A można wejść. A patrzę co ma pan tutaj na sprzedaż.
The stall was a myriad of retro kitsch. Bottle stoppers, keychains, musical cards. Hi, I wonder if you can help me. I'm looking for VERA security.
Yes, of course. It's the shop behind you.
Thank
Nie
you.
no coś ty.
The name's George, by the way.
Call me Bassam. And do please forgive me.
Muzułmanin.
I'm in no mood to talk. I have a resounding headache.
O, dobrze, po mojego bólu głowy.
Bad migraine, eh?
The worst. The buzzing and flashing from the old sign is killing me. I thought the neon sign had potential until it broke.
Is it your sign?
No, the previous owners used to be a restaurant. But this is horrible. Adversely affecting my footfall and giving me a splitting headache.
Dobrze, mówmy o tym neonie.
You want me to try fixing that sign for you?
Do you know what you're doing?
Nie.
I'm very good at fixing things.
Prawda, lubię naprawiać
Then
rzeczy.
please do.
Ale to
I'm
metodą
no good
prób
at
i
electric.
błędów.
Marketing analysis and predicting trends is more my thing.
A,
Bassam had already
Yeah.
told me where VERA security was.
dobrze wiemy.
Do you have any use for nail clippers?
Po co w ogóle ten obcinasz do paznokci, kurde.
Smell this.
O, jeszcze go głowa rozboli.
Oof. At least it's the real thing.
Gdzie jest ten neon? To ten, tak? Mnie też by rozblała głowa po jakimś czasie, gdyby tak waliło coś.
I took a good look at the sign. The wiring was exposed.
O, tyki tutaj.
No wonder it was flashing.
Okej, przeczytajmy. Dobrze, czyli musimy przesuwać literki. Że się uda, tak. No, no. Niektóre działają, niektóre nie. Cholercie.
I pulled the wire off. Well, that was one way to stop the letters flashing. Now only half the sign was illuminated.
Pomyślmy, co tu teraz można zrobić. Tych nie przez... A nie, to też możemy przestawiać. Co ja mogę zrobić z tymi kablami? Co mam? A tu ich nawet nie mogę wziąć, więc... Jak ja uwielbiam takie łamigłówki, ale to się traci bardzo dużo czasu na nie. Niestety. Tylko czy ja to muszę naprawiać? Pomyślmy. Co się stanie, jakbym przełożył to tu? A to tu. Dobrze, czyli od tego dopiero działają. A moment, go zrobił tak i... tak? Nie. To kablowanie. Na razie stąd wyjdźmy.
The buzzing and flashing has stopped.
And I am very grateful. But the sign still looks pretty terrible, doesn't it?
No.
When you're building a brand from the ground up, name is everything. I need a name that makes my customers long for adventure and treasures from faraway places.
To myślę o tym
I
kablu.
decided to keep the wire. If Bassam knew how flimsy the sign was, he wouldn't be happy. I could take a look at your sign, come up with something.
You are like a genie from a magic lamp.
Okej.
Tell me about your business
Pomóż
idea.
mojego biznesie. Pomówmy w
This
sensie.
stall is going to put me through college while giving me field experience. But the nonsense sign is working against me. It should spell a name for my shop. I need something original, yet familiar, bright and in your face, yet subtle and symbolic.
Okej. Myślę, że na razie pójdźmy do sklepu. W sensie do firmy ubezpieczeniowej. O! O, ale fajna firma.
What's wrong?
Karaluszki se chodzą, martwy szczur leży.
Where?
On the floor! Get rid of it!
Oh, the cockroach.
Yes, the cockroach! Help!
Co, weźmiemy go?
Come here, little fella.
Co z nim? O, właśnie tym.
I was never going to catch it with my bare hands.
Dobrze, nie tym, no to może tym. Ej. Karaluszku, stań na moment. Ustań.
That wasn't worth trying.
Nie, to może... tym.
That wouldn't work.
Czym by go tu wziąć? Kablem?
That wasn't worth trying.
Co jeszcze tu mamy?
That would have violated the Chemical Weapons Convention. There were crumbs.
Dobrze, musimy coś znaleźć, żeby go wziąć.
No wonder the cockroach was sticking around.
Tylko czym go tu wziąć? Co mamy na stole?
Romanovs, a Russian brand cigarette.
Okej.
The pack was empty.
Możemy wziąć? Nie. Ale możemy wziąć pudełko z zapałkami.
As a child, I'd always been told not to play with matches, but I never could resist. The ashtray was full of cigarette butts. The filters were gold-colored. Very exotic.
Jak egzotyczne. Okej, mamy to. Spróbujemy go do pudełka tych wziąć. Naszego kakroacza. Do pudełeczka niech wejdzie.
I tipped out the matches. I couldn't catch it just by swiping at it. I'd need to entice it closer.
Okej.
I couldn't catch it just by swiping at it. I'd need to entice it closer.
Okej.
I set down my matchbox. Cockroaches like hiding in dark places. Not a bad idea when you think about it.
No i wejdź.
Cockroach wasn't going for it. I needed some bait.
Dobrze. Szczurka? Pomyślmy. Zamiast po prostu zdeptać. Jak zwykle zbieramy takie rzeczy, żeby po prostu mieć na przyszłość.
There was a huge cockroach in the way.
Nie mów Stobart, że się boisz kakroacza.
Leave that radio alone and sort this damn cockroach.
That was never going to work. That was almost a great idea.
Almost, jak zwykle.
That wasn't worth trying.
Nie mam pomysłów, no.
Even the plant looked depressed.
Musimy jakoś to rozświetlić, ale o co? Może zapalić o pudełko. Nie, on mówił, że prawie idealnie, tak? Almost tutaj było przy tym? Przy tej kombinacji?
That was never going to work.
Jak to nie? Fu. Mam łamigłówkę, widzicie? Dwie łamigłówki obok siebie. Pewnie szuflady nie możemy. Lampa.
The place looked very much like temporary accommodation.
Jak to łączyć? Pomówmy z nią. Czy możemy?
Hello, I'm... Cockroach! I see the little beggar.
Może coś ze stoiska będzie mieć. Zobaczymy.